Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Mindful Motherhood Monday. Today's topic is self-compassion for us parents and how we are able to be so compassionate to other parents but struggle to be compassionate with ourselves, which is why I've titled this video, It's Okay Not to Be Okay. We say that all the time. I know I say it all the time to other parents. I understand when someone is having a tough time and I feel it for them and I know it's okay not to be okay. But when it comes to me, I really struggle to say that to myself. And that falls under the category of self-compassion. So I wanted to discuss that with you guys today and share a little bit of research that I've done into the topic and also personal experiences, and I would love for you guys to share your personal experiences as well and just engage with me on the comments below. Tell me your opinions on this subject and how it's made you feel now that you've heard a little bit more about self-compassion. If you're new around here, please do hit the subscribe button if you like these types of videos. I post 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 7 p.m. and Mindful Motherhood videos are always on a Monday at 7 p.m. So Wednesday and Fridays are more free kinds of videos and just like general parenting, beauty, lifestyle videos. So I hope you guys join me every Monday for another Mindful Motherhood video and throughout the week for more videos as well. So now let's get straight into the video. Isn't it true that we find it so easy to be compassionate with other mums and other parents in general? Just picture that situation of being in the cafe and then there's a mum on the table next to you having a really tough time. She either has a screaming child or a tantrumy toddler or a grumpy 3-nager, 4-nager. Whatever the situation, we find it easy to feel compassion in those moments. We don't judge a mum that puts the iPad in front of a child so that she can have 5 minutes of peace and drink her coffee. We don't judge the mum who roll her eyes at the toddler after having his 6th or her 6th meltdown in that morning. We look at them with caring eyes. We try and tell them that it's okay not to be okay. We understand how they feel and we tell them, give yourself a break. But how often do you do that to yourself? I'm very guilty of not doing that to myself often, but now that I've been more mindful of that, I have been making a concerted effort to be caring, compassionate towards myself. And the definition of compassion is sympathetic concern over the struggles or the misfortune of others. So self-compassion means caring and understanding your own struggles and your own misfortunes and saying to yourself, it's okay not to be okay. I had a really rough night with my baby last night, and there was one point in the night when I thought to myself, what good am I if I can't soothe my own baby? And then I thought, would I have said that to another mum? Would I have actually told that mum that she was no good if she couldn't soothe her baby? Definitely 100% absolutely not. So why did I do that to myself? I think a lot of us get into that mindset of being overly critical of the things that we do. Probably because we want what's best for our children and we won't accept anything less than what's best. So we are always judging and criticizing ourselves if we're not doing enough or if we think we're not doing enough. But sometimes I lose all hope when I'm being too critical of myself. I feel incredibly deflated and negative towards my life when I feel like I'm not doing a good job. So being self-compassionate can actually lead you to be a bit more positive with your life and feel more hope that things will get better, and they will. I've been doing a little bit of research and I found out there are 3 components to self-compassion. First one is self-kindness, then it's common humanity, and then it's mindfulness. Self-kindness is very self-explanatory. It's being kind to yourself and being understanding of your own suffering. Common humanity is realizing that you're not alone, that you're not the only mum who goes through that difficult situation, and not isolating yourself, instead feeling like you're part of a group of people who struggle with these things. And mindfulness is being present and aware of our experience instead of ignoring it or over exaggerating it. Just being in that moment and being aware of what we're going through instead of judging or of passing any kind of personal feelings that we have towards the situation. Just acknowledge it. So I wanted this video to be, instead of just factual and experience-based, I wanted it to be helpful in case you're struggling to be self-compassionate. So I have a few exercises that you can practice to help you feel more compassion towards yourself. And I would love for you guys to share with me on social media if you've actually used these exercises and if you feel like it's made a difference. So the first exercise would be to imagine how you would support someone else that were going through the same situation that you're going through and struggling with the things that you're struggling. What would you say to them, and how would you help them and bring their spirits up, and just generally, what would you say to them? That's a great way to put things into perspective and see how easily we're able to find positives and hope to give to others. And maybe that should be what we're saying to ourselves when we're going through those tough times. The second exercise is very, very easy, and it's to remember that you're not alone. Try and remember how many people you know who have gone through a similar situation, either in real life or in social media or on TV. How many people you know have struggled with a crying baby or a colicky baby? And remember that you're not alone, because more often than not, there will be people in the same situation as you. The third exercise is to do something kind towards yourself when you're having one of those really difficult moments. Whatever that is, sometimes it could just simply writing affirmations on a piece of paper or on your phone saying, I am a good mum, I am doing my best. Other times it's making yourself a cup of tea and sitting down and just relaxing for 5 minutes. Whatever you feel is an act of kindness towards yourself, do that if you're able to do it. And the last exercise is to allow yourself to take a break, even if it means inconveniencing other people. Put those feelings aside for a bit. Stop worrying about how hard that day will be for someone who will look after your children so you can take a break. And allow yourself to take that break. You are worthy of that break and you need it. So to summarize everything, I'm just going to give you an example of what self-compassion looks like in a real life situation. So I'm going to take myself as an example and what happened last night. So the situation was, my baby would not stop crying for hours and hours in the middle of the night. And I tried everything I could to stop her crying, and I could not stop her crying. And I thought, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? Why can't I stop her crying? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with her? What is wrong in general? I was getting myself in a really negative headspace, analysing and over-analysing my parenting decisions, the choices that we've made, the reasons why she won't sleep, and whether or not that is my fault or not. So that is the moment to take a self-compassion break. So, first step, acknowledge the moment. Be mindful, be present. Don't be judgmental about it. Just acknowledge the moment. It's hard. It's a hard moment. It's a tough situation. You're sleep deprived. You love your baby. You want your baby to sleep. You want them to be happy and healthy. So it's hard to hear a baby cry for so many hours and not be able to do anything about it. Acknowledge it. It's hard. So once you've acknowledged and accepted your situation, remember, other people go through it as well. Other parents have babies who don't sleep, who cry all night long. It's not just me. I am not the only one dealing with a crying baby. I am not isolated in this world. I have not been chosen to be the only one who suffers with a crying baby. I am not alone. And lastly, it's time to offer yourself some self-compassion. Offer yourself some kindness. Whatever that is. In my case, it was self-affirmations. I couldn't do anything. It was the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. when she finally fell asleep. So I couldn't go and make myself a cup of tea. My act of kindness was to say to myself, I am a good mum. I am doing enough. I'm here for her. I'm trying my best. I've done everything I can. I am a good mum. And although that did not stop my baby crying, it's not a cure for a crying baby, it stopped me from derailing into a very negative headspace and feeling so powerless and so incapable and not worthy of being, a good parent. It stopped all those negative thoughts in my mind. Instead, I just laid there with my baby and hoped that whatever was bothering her would go away, because I had done my best. I had tried everything. And eventually she fell asleep and morning came, and I woke up not feeling resentful, negative, or regretting anything that I'd done. I woke up feeling like that moment had passed and I dealt with it. It was in the past. Now it's another day, another situation. I realized that you can't always do that in the moment, and I know I won't always be able to be that reflective and compassionate to myself in really difficult situations. I know that. So do it after the moment, but remember to do that self-compassion exercise when you have tough moments. And don't beat yourself up after you've come to terms with your emotions and with your feelings and what's happened in that moment. Don't go over that moment and think about it negatively or what you could have done differently. After you've made yourself aware of the situation, after you've gone through all the motions of self-compassion and you've given yourself that break, just move past it and accept it. Accept that was a tough day. That was a tough night. That was a tough situation. Whatever it was tough. You dealt with it, you move on. And beating yourself up over it is not going to make it any better. It's fine to learn from your mistakes and to want to improve and do better and be a better parent and be better next time. But it's not fine to think that you weren't enough then, you didn't do enough. You did enough and you did your best. So it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to say to yourself, it's okay not to be okay. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful or insightful or interesting in any way. Please do hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and share with your friends if you feel like they would enjoy this video or they need to hear this. I know a lot of friends who need to hear that they need a little bit of self-compassion, so I will definitely be sharing this video with them as well. If you're not already subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me to have you guys here that enjoy watching these videos and have you as subscribers so that you can come back every week for a new Mindful Motherhood video. And don't forget, if you take the Mindful Motherhood Moment Challenge, do share it on social media and I will make sure to comment, to reply, to repost it on my stories, and just create a lovely community of mums who are committed or trying to be more mindful and to parent more mindfully. Hope you guys are doing really well, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!